All right, here we go. Knicks in Detroit on the second half of a back-to-back against a Pistons team that was struggling just to field a team out there tonight. Struggling just to put a team out there on the court. So you figure this should be a layup. This should be an easy night. This should be a bum night. Right? Wrong. Because this Knicks team takes a 7-point lead into the third quarter and gets flipped on top of its head by a 13-16 Pistons third quarter. Knicks find themselves down 14 to the COVID All-Stars. But thankfully, for my guy Alec Burks, missed the fourth quarter. He saves the Knicks from an embarrassing night and gets a W, 94-85. Knicks win. But man, oh man, let's cut the music. Let's cut the music right now.
Turn it off.
Knicks post-game live presented by Prize Picks. CP the franchise, CK2K, Ashley Moss will be here shortly. Bro, I don't even know where to begin. I don't even know where to begin, bro. Because from the minute this game tipped off, I said, Julius is playing lazy. He's chucking. Kemba looks terrible. Kemba on the second night of a back-to-back against this Pistons team. I didn't even think we needed him tonight.
At all.
All right? You have no center out there for the Detroit Pistons. And the minute I see Julius dancing and lollygagging on the perimeter, I already knew what time it was tonight. No energy, not even playing hard. Nevertheless, they coast to a 7-point halftime lead. Third quarter starts, and 3 straight turnovers lead to Pistons buckets. They got Sadiq Bey looking like Scottie Pippen. And Hamidou Diallo looking like Tracy McGrady out there. This Pistons team, they were looking for anybody. They were going to ask Joe Dumars to come off the street and come play for them. We're 30-16 in the third quarter. 6 third quarter turnovers. Multiple by Julius Randle. What else is new? You have your point guard who's giving you nothing. You should have seen that from the opening tip. We didn't even need him tonight. And this coach waits until 3 minutes left in the third quarter to make wholesale changes. What more do you have to see, Tibbs? We're down by 14 to a G League team who's playing hard. Give the Pistons credit. You know, Dwayne Casey, great coach. They're playing hard. These guys are playing for their livelihoods out here. They're hungry.
Right.
And so many times we have a Knicks starting unit led by Julius Randle that shows no passion, no hunger, no intensity. Absolute dud. And you are getting ready to have this team embarrass you. You are a game and a half out of 6th place in the East. You have multiple teams in the East trying to even put teams out there on the court. This is perfect opportunity to get back into the race. You have a light schedule this week, only going to get harder. Perfect opportunity to get back into this race. And you want to be down 14 points before you go to your bench that gave you the energy that you wanted, gave you the defensive intensity that you wanted, gave you offense. You want to wait till you're down 14 points to make wholesale changes. Thank the basketball gods for my guy Alec Burks. Missed the fourth quarter with 34 points of the night to save this team from complete embarrassment. We won the game. Well, bro, this was embarrassing, man. This was just flat out embarrassing. Your takes, bro.
First thing that comes to my mind is when you look at the box score. You see, don't even look at the other team's box. We could talk about Sadiq, we could talk about Diallo, but you just look right at the Knicks. barring everything you just said, and you see that our entire starting five, outside of Quentin Grimes, is a negative 20-something. And if you look at it and you think that we played like the Warriors, you think that we played the Bucks, you think that we played one of these top echelon teams, and then you look at the bench, and I'm looking at plus 39, plus 36, plus 31, plus 28, plus 27. And the thing is, like, I'm not really crazy about the plus minus stat, but what I'm seeing in that is a lot of, catch-up basketball to be played by that second unit, and B, they played with heart. They wanted to win. To your point, I'm watching in the first quarter. I'm watching in the third quarter. I'm watching Julius Randle out there walking on many occasions as if his dude is not the one that's killing us.
Going through the motions, bro. Going through the motions.
Sadiq Bey, 32 points. And mind you, Sadiq Bey's been on a great tear. Picked him up for Prize Picks. Appreciate you on the over on that. But a lot of it had to do because I knew that we was going to get the effort that we got from Julius Randle. And what's embarrassing about outside of who was playing for the Pistons at this time was after a game like last night, where you're getting killed, everyone's saying this, saying that regardless of the win, you have another opportunity to one-up that when they have damn near nobody else except for Sadiq Bey that can stop you on that team. And this is your opportunity to go out there and take care of business, and go out there and write your name. Go out there and show how angry and pissed off you are at us, at the very least. Show that you care about this team. Show that you care about the Knicks posting on Twitter that you should be an all-star. Show that you care about all those things. You get that opportunity, and you give us 5 points. 2 for 11, 26 minutes, 5 points against Sadiq Bey and Hamidou Diallo. And they ain't got no bigs. They got no bigs. They got nothing going on over there. There's nothing going on over there. I don't care if this is a win, is a win, is win. No, I'm not taking that. Not tonight. Not tonight. We are 17 and 18. Like you said, we were right there within playoff berth, 6 seed, 17. Yeah. I don't care what it is. But for you to have 5 points following up a night that you had yesterday, and I'm supposed to be seeing these tweets by the Knicks saying that we're supposed to be voting for you for All-Star, and we're supposed to be. No,
I'm not voting for nothing, bro. I'm voting for Burks. I'm voting for Burks.
Yeah. It's just the lack of effort. When you're given an opportunity like this, that's the thing that irks me the most about it. The language, body language, all that kind of stuff. Yeah, it sucks. But when you have this opportunity given to you, like back-to-back games with teams that are depleted, teams that are being put together of people that you only see on the far end of the bench on 2K. Cassius Stanley playing 27 minutes. I haven't seen him play that many minutes since Sierra Canyon when he was in high school.
Yeah,
we have this kind of opportunity, and you go out there and you only give us 5 points. Like, that's the stuff to me that really irks me. And Tom Thibodeau's still trying his best to work it through him. Third quarter, we knew what the problem was, and he decided to take out Quentin Grimes.
Yeah.
But leaves him out there for at least another minute or two.
Yeah.
And then decides to finally, like you said, wholesale and bring everybody else in. That irks me. That irks me. He can go and have a 50-point game on Friday. When you have an opportunity like this, that's something that's going on upstairs that I cannot get behind. I don't care.
This is indefensible, bro. On both of them, Julius and Tibbs. You have Obi who told Tibbs, we need more energy in the unit. I'm your guy, Tibbs. Put me in the game, coach. And you're still waiting to get this kid in the game, to give you some energy. Gets in the game, fourth quarter, gets a steal. He's initiating the fast break. Right. Great job by Quickly. McBride, even though he didn't even score, gave us some intensity on the defensive end. You got Taj having to save us from ourselves. And shout out to Burks. Unbelievable, man. Unbelievable when you're trying to get back into the race. There's no better opportunity in the NBA right now. Yeah. We are on uncharted waters with the way COVID is impacting teams. Yeah. You have a perfect opportunity now with the team coming at full strength to take advantage of this time and get back, get yourself into a flow. Get yourself into a rhythm, which is what these games I'm looking at in these games. I'm not looking at the box score plus. I'm looking to see, can we continue to flow together as a unit, especially the starting unit, and get back into the race.
And that's the other thing, CP, that pissed me off too. Miss me with the chemistry conversation. Miss me with the chemistry. I don't care if you slotted Quentin Grimes in there for his first time playing with these guys. Miss me. That whole team has not played together that we just played against.
I'm saying,
that whole
bro.
team just came together with a bunch of G Leaguers and a dude that's been in the G League for 3 years and then finally getting his first NBA minutes. And he played 17 minutes and then he was more useful than some of the guys that are on our team. So miss me with the chemistry conversation because these guys have been playing together since training camp. Yeah, the lineups might have been different, fine. But I don't want to hear chemistry when those dudes over there look way better. They look like they've been playing together for the entire season. And we look like we were the G League team that was put together because of COVID protocols. So miss me with the chemistry stuff as well.
As they say, hard work beats talent when talent don't work hard, bro.
Amen.
These guys on the Pistons wanted it. And once they took that lead in the third and they cracked the skin and blood came out, they wanted to go for the kill, bro. We were down by 14 to these guys.
Yep.
Down by 14. Let me get action here, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for you boys. Had to go off, man. Knicks win 94 to 85.
Gotta remember we won. You gotta remember.
Yeah, you gotta remember we won. I almost couldn't eat my dinner tonight. I was so beside myself, man. Unbelievable. Ash, how you doing? Ash, you there? Ash can't hear us.
I don't know, but she looked mad.
Ash looks tight. She's speechless right now. Damn, Ash, I threw Ash the alley to come in hot. You know what I'm saying? So to everybody in the chat right now, let me get to the phones real quick while we work on Ash's audio. And let's get to it, man. Area code 443, what's going on?
CP.
Yo.
It's Ron from Baltimore.
Yeah, Ron, what's good, man? Talk to me.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah.
There she is.
Yeah. Ron, hang tight. Let's get to Ash's points, and then we're gonna get to you. Ash, how you
guys
feel?
still can't hear me? That's
Yeah,
so weird.
we can hear you.
No, we
man.
can.
We
We
good. We
I
good.
can hear you guys though. You guys can't hear me?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh.
We can hear you.
What's up, guys? You guys can hear me fine?
Yeah. All right. So give us your thoughts on the game tonight.
All right. So check. Oh, you know why? I think I'm okay. Here we go.
Yeah.
All right. So look, we have a situation here. Okay, we have a serious situation here. Your bench cannot outplay your starters like this. This is a travesty. I mean, shout out to Alex Burke holding down the fort. The starters just looked disastrous. Yeah. Julius Randle just looks so disengaged with the guys that he starts the game with constantly. It's just not okay. I mean, I'm just looking at these numbers. It's atrocious. You know, there's just so many different things that go wrong. He just looks so disengaged, like I said, but also he's not setting up screens. He doesn't look like he wants to be out there with those guys. There's no even a remnant of the camaraderie or the chemistry that was there last season. And look, I get it. Your starters every single night are not always going to be your best players, right? But you expect them to at least be your most consistent players. And what that means is Julius Randle's not always going to put up the big numbers. RJ Barrett's not always going to put up the big numbers. We're not going to get a Kemba Walker triple-double every single night. But you expect them to be consistent. You expect to see aspects of who they are as players and what they bring to that starting unit and what they bring to the team consistently night in and night out. And we're not. It's a very up and down roller coaster of a ride, and it's not fun to be on. I mean, your bench unit without Derrick Rose, put that into perspective, without Derrick Rose, who is one of the most consistent players, if not the most consistent player on this team, especially with that second unit, is not even playing, and you're still getting outplayed by your bench unit. That is not okay. I'm not sure what else you can do with that starting lineup to change the issues here.
Start with the effort. You got to start with effort, Ash.
Lack of effort. Yeah, this is a problem.
At least show up. You know what I mean? Like, that's half the battle. This Pistons team showed up. They wanted to win. Unreal.
Yeah, it's you know, you can always, basketball is a game of skill, but it's also a game of effort. And we talk about this all the time. Offensively speaking, you know, if you just have a night where your shots just aren't falling, they're just not falling. There's nothing you can do about that. You know what I mean? Sometimes you just don't have it. But defensively speaking, half a defense, if not more than half, 75% of defense is effort. The effort's not even there to play together defensively. I don't even think Kemba Walker knows how to spell defense. That's how bad it is at this point. Not that we knew, but there's not even an effort to do so. Julius just seems so nonchalant so many times when he's out there. And I don't know if it's a subconscious thing. I don't even know if he's aware of it. But when you're watching that film back, unless these guys just don't watch film, if you're watching the film, you can see your body language is not really what it's supposed to be. Like, that's something that you can visually see after the fact. So I'm not sure, or I'm not understanding why he's not seeing that. It's not, something's not clicking this year. And I'm not really sure what it is.
Something ain't right. And then my guy Sean just texted me and said, maybe did Tibbs say, I mean, salute to everybody in the chat. Did Tibbs say in the post game that Julius was nicked up? I didn't hear that. I didn't hear that. Let me check Twitter and see what Twitter says.
According to Bondi, check Bondi.
If that's the case,
Bondi.
Ash dropping subliminals. Okay, I like that. Ash. I like that. If that's the case, even more reason why he shouldn't be playing that much. I don't know, man. Let me get to the phone. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up on Free Squad. We got 1,500 people in here. This is Knicks Post Game Live presented by Prize Picks. CP, the franchise, CK2K, Ashley Moss in the building. Call us up with your takes. As you can see, we're very disgusted right now. But call us up. 657-383-1509 is the number to call. Or you could hit us up on the KnicksFanTV Discord. All right, we're going to go to Ron from Baltimore. Ron, you back on.
CP, Alec Burks needs at least 30 shots a night. We need to build this thing around him. He is the Michael Jeffrey Jordan
Oh
of
my
this
God.
basketball team.
That's right.
How many times have I tried to tell you all, and people laughing at me in the chat, throwing tomatoes at me?
Yeah.
Who's laughing now?
Who's laughing now?
You want to come to our side of the you want to come to our side of the table? Come to CP and I side.
Yeah.
We've been there. Join us. Join us on the good side.
Saved
Alec
us
Burks,
from disaster tonight.
I mean, come on, man. He outscored the entire starting lineup. He outscored the entire Pistons bench. Miles McBride's a plus 40. That's the best, or plus 39. That's the best by a Knick in the last 25 years. Tied for fourth. Okay. Alec Burks, to me, when you watch him play, I'm going to tell my children, our parents had MJ. Depends how old you are.
Oh my God.
Alec Burks.
Let's go, Ryan. Let's go.
You guys can laugh about it. It's fine. But how many times is he going to save us? If he needs a promotion, if they ain't going to step up, Alex, he can take us home. He can take us to the promised land. He can split the ocean in the middle. He can do amazing things. You got to give him at least 30 a night. That's all I got, man.
Appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call. An optimistic Ron from Baltimore. Burks Hive, stand up. If you're part of the Burks Hive, proud members like myself and Ron, stand up in the chat. We here tonight.
I really blame you for the Michael Jordan comparison. You started that train, and now it just won't stop.
That was Ron, but I let him go with it. Because Burks is my guy. You know what I'm saying? I say it facetiously, but look, 34 points tonight. Missed the fourth quarter in all seriousness, and when nobody else had it going. Thankfully, tonight was one of Burks' nights. He's not going to be consistent. He might go to OKC and give you 5 points, 10 points, but tonight he was on point. So, and I just like the fact that CK, he's back in his role, which is off the bench, being a microwave. Right. He's going to create for you a little bit more, but it's a lot more demanding when you're a starting point guard than when you can just come in the bench and, that quickly can also handle, that Deuce can also handle, so you can also do your thing, and which is scoring the basketball.
Well, we knew that. I was just hoping Tom Thibodeau would know that, and it seems like tonight he's understanding that he does have that with IQ and with Deuce playing the backup. So, I hope that at least that part he did get right with that second unit and putting Alec Burks back with them, letting Kemba do what he has to do, even though tonight I feel like he just went for a nice jog. But like we all mentioned, we don't think he even needed to play tonight. But the main thing is we did get to see some Deuce minutes. And I thought IQ did a good job handling that backup point guard. So
Yeah.
that's all I care about. As long as they're running the show at some point in this game, then that's fine. We'll let that go.
Indeed. Let's hear from some more angry Knicks fans, man. I want to hear from some people. Ron was a little upbeat. I want to hear from some angry Knicks fans. Let's go to area code 914. 914, what's going on?
Hello, can you hear me?
Yep, loud and clear, man. What's your name? Where you calling from, man?
What's up? I'm Kenneth from Yonkers. Just salute UCP, salute TK, salute Ash.
Salute.
Yeah, first things first, shout out Burks, shout out Taj. You made me a believer, CP. Hashtag Burkside.
Burkside, man. Missed the fourth quarter.
But Burks and Taj, I don't know where we would have been without them tonight. But let's be real. I don't know where to start with Randall. I tried my hardest to defend this man. We know what he did last season. I tried my hardest, but if he's still playing like this by Martin Luther King Day, he's got to go. I don't know if we can do that this season, but at least in the summer, he's got to go. And I'll be real. I watch a lot of English Premier League, so I'm going to tell you like they tell you. Mm-hmm. He was horrid, dreadful, disgraceful, utterly diabolical, and an embarrassment to the entire city of New York. As far as that Obi and Randall's concerned, Obi's good. I don't think Obi's as good as everyone's hyping him up to be, but he is so much better for this team than Randall is.
Yeah.
And that's all I got to say. Shout out everyone. And, hit the likes. Hit the likes, everyone. Hit the likes.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not going to jump out the window and say that Obi's a better player because I think that's a bit far-fetched right now. But sometimes you want hard workers, man. Sometimes hard workers, the lunch pail guys, can get the job done for you because they're fitting. They're fitting in a role. They're filling their role. And you're filling across the stat sheet. You're on the board. You're playing defense. You're jumping into the passing lanes. You're running the baseline, catching alley-oops. That gives your team energy. That gives your team momentum. Right. That's a big deal.
I think for me, that's the biggest concern that I have with Julius. It's not the fact. I mean, the 5 points, the minus 27. That's not great, right? But putting that aside, I think for me, it's just the drastic fall off from last season to this season in effort. It's not even so much in product, because you know what? From season to season, your shots vary. Your shot percentage varies. Sometimes you're averaging 30 points, 25 points a game one season, and the next it drops off a little bit, especially when you add more offense. You don't have the ball in your hand as much. You don't have to go ahead and put up as many shots as he did last year. I'm okay with that. He's not, the main scorer every single night. What I'm not okay with is that there is no effort that is even remnant of the guy we saw last season. Last season, whether you want to admit it or not, Julius Randle was the leader. He was out there and he was grinding and he was hustling, and night in and night out, he gave it 125%, even when he was gassed. I mean, you saw him after the All-Star break and he pushes through and he powers through. I don't see that, Julius. I see him in very small glimpses. I saw him Christmas Day. I saw him in some other games this season, but I don't see him consistently like I saw last season. And that's what's concerning, because you can fix somebody's shot percentage. You can fix the points on the board. You can fix his stat line. You can't fix someone's mentality unless they want to go ahead and fix it themselves. And you can't force him to give you effort. He has to want to give you effort, and he's not doing it. At least not consistently.
At least not consistently. Great points. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. This is Knicks Post Game Live presented by Prize Picks. We got 2,000 people in here. Welcome to the show. We're just a bunch of angry Knicks fans just ranting and raving right now. So welcome to our dysfunction. Even in a win, we're pissed off. A 94-85 Knicks win. Make sure you guys are hitting that like button, hit that thumbs up button, and hit the subscribe button, as well as the notification bell. All right, back to the phones we go. Let's go to area code. Let's go 917-696. Is this Jay from Florida?
This is Benji from Manhattan.
Benji, what's going on,
guys?
Chill, man. What's good?
What's going on, guys?
Good, man.
Hi.
Burks Hive. Hi, hey, guys. Hi, Ashley. Burks Hive, mount up. That's what we got to play. We got to play the Regulators intro song for Alec Burks. But yeah, I'm proud of him tonight, man. He saved me, honestly, Alec Burks, aka Alec Jordan. He saved me checking myself in Bellevue tonight. Honestly, I'm not kidding with you guys. If we had lost this game, it would have been catastrophic, as Wally said, disgraceful, pathetic. Like, it would have been on another level based on who we played. I'm not sure if we would have been able to rebound from a loss like this. It just would have been so crippling. So major props to Burks for just doing what he does. Clutch gene, amazing. He does it time and time again. Amazing some of the performances also. Deuce, I probably have to look this up, but Deuce, no points, but plus 39. That has to be some sort of record. That has to be some sort of record. Couple other observations, at least on the Detroit side. Can we stop Hamidou Diallo? I mean, this guy looks like vintage Tracy McGrady against us. I can't take it. It's ridiculous. He torched us when he was in OKC last season and the season before, and he just does whatever he wants, and he just like outworks and energy. Also on the Detroit side, that guy Luka Garza, absolute unadulterated basura, aka garbage. He is terrible. He honestly reminds me of like a poor man's Michael Doliak. Yeah. Who I liked Michael Doliak on the Knicks with that little like 10-foot jumper on the foul line. But this guy, Luka Garza, is horrific. He's terrible. I think he'll be playing in like Romania in about 12 months. But whatever it is, my last point, I'm just honestly thankful that we pulled this game out because now we have some momentum that we can continue on. We got to figure some things out, but at least we're on a winning streak and we're moving up in the standings and we've accomplished what we want to accomplish, which is try to get a 3-1 road trip. My last point is just about wanted to make the point about what the Knicks. I mean, what do you even do moving forward? How do you deal with the starters? Like, it's just we can't go on like this with Julius and RJ playing at this level. It's a little bit disturbing. So I just want to figure out what we can do. And then additionally, Ari, I re-listened to you guys this morning because I do that a lot. I obviously love the show. Ari from Manhattan, much respect to him and the passion and energy he was bringing, but he was talking about how much he hates Evan Fournier. Look, I like Evan Fournier. He hasn't been as advertised. He's probably been a C+ if you really want to rate him or grade him. But the guys that he was mentioning as other guys that would be replacements for Fournier, Gary Harris and Robert Covington. I do not agree with that. I like Robert Covington. Nice player, plays defense, plays hard. Gary Harris is like a marginal shooting guard. I think Evan Fournier is much better than Gary Harris. So I don't agree with those as replacement options. I understand Fournier has not delivered in terms of his contract value, but give him a chance. He's played a little bit better recently. I still think he is an X factor for us, and let's just give him a chance beyond 33 games to see what he can do. Thanks, guys.
Appreciate the call, man. Appreciate the call. Let's go to the Discord. We got a ton of calls tonight, people, so keep it rapid fire. Let's go to the Discord. We got JD Sports Talk in the building. JD, what's going on, man? Go ahead and unmute your mic, bro.
You guys hear me?
Loud and clear, bro. What's good?
Nice. Shout out to you guys. Shout out to Ash, CK, and yourself, CP, everyone on the show. Rapid fire. A few quick points. Yep. Let's start with Kemba. I guess my question to you guys is where are we headed here? What do we do now? Last 3 games, he is 7 of 23, 25% from the field. He's 5 of 18 from 3 at 27%. His first 4 games that he was started, he averaged 40 minutes. And now this is his first back-to-back. And you started to see the last 3 games, the legs are starting to maybe, catch up to him. The shot's starting to go short. The energy is a little low. That's something that I'm interested to see where we're headed there with the conditioning and the health of Kemba. Now with Obi, through three quarters, CP, he played a total of 9 minutes and 55 seconds. Through 3 quarters of basketball, there's 36 minutes. So, I know he played the whole fourth, but I think it was a situation where Tibbs was just forced to play the hot hand. So this is the continuation of that, polarizing topic of why is Obi not getting more minutes?
And on top of that, bro, Tibbs is saying Randall's nicked up. So you got Randall nicked up. You playing against the COVID All-Stars in Detroit. But we still got to go to him for 9 out of the 12 minutes in the third quarter when we're down 14 points. Desperate for a change of pace and some energy.
Not only that, he's nicked up. but he through 3 quarters, I said Obi played just shy of 10 minutes. Randall played 26 minutes through 3 quarters on the second of a back-to-back.
There you go. For what reason?
Before tonight, if he's nicked up, why is he playing 38 minutes against Minnesota, 34 minutes against the Hawks, 35 minutes against the Wizards, 38 minutes against the Pistons, 41 minutes against the Celtics? I'm not sure where in that sequence he got nicked up, but and listen, that's what the coach is saying. You don't know if he's trying to protect the player.
Fair. That's fair. That's fair.
A few because when he played 34 minutes against the Hawks and he was red hot, he wasn't nicked up then.
Yeah. Yeah.
So yeah, and that's pretty much it. And shout out to the bench. You guys are great. You guys will cover all the other points, man. Rapid fire.
Let's go
to everyone.
Let's go, man.
Great show.
Real quick. Positive or negative? How'd you do in prize picks tonight? Just give me a positive or negative.
Positive. Ja Morant. I hit the over.
Okay, I did put money on Ja Morant. So let's go. I'm watching the game right now, but I didn't know how many points he had.
How about this? A curveball. Oh my God, you're not gonna believe this one.
Oh,
I took the over 2.5 threes on Evan Fournier. And then he doesn't even play.
Oof.
I can't believe I fell for the trap, CP.
Yeah, they did you agree. They did you greasy on that one, man. We'll get back to prize picks.
I can't hit the over if he doesn't play. So
yeah, no question
on that one.
No question, man. All right, man. Good to hear from you, bro. We'll talk.
All right, no problem.
All right, cool. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, that was JD Sports Talk on the check-in. Let's go back to the phones. I don't get it, CK. If he's nicked up, as he says he is, why are you playing him? You know what I'm saying?
I'm gonna buy it for now, but I don't know. I feel like he's trying to do some saving here, but I'll buy it for now.
He said it's damage control.
That's what I'm saying, but I'll buy it for now.
They both looking bad. They're both looking bad because whether nicked up or just lack of, you see what we see, Tibbs. He's not even trying out there, bro.
Yep.
Quick hooks. We're not playing the world champs here, man. You could have saved them tonight. Gave a little spell. We would have been all right. You know what I'm saying? We would have been all right. He's hurting us more so than helping us tonight.
Not just tonight.
Yeah, for sure. Back to the phones we go. Area code, let's go 646-290. What's your name? Where you calling from?
You already know, CP. It's Facts coming through from Harlem. How y'all doing?
What's good, man? How you feeling,
good
bro?
Win tonight. I'm feeling good. I know everybody loves.
We're not on speakerphone, are we? We're not on speakerphone, are we?
No, I'm not. No,
okay,
I'm not.
all right.
No, I'm not.
You sound kind
I
of
got
far.
my AirPods in. I'm Gucci.
Yeah.
Y'all can hear me clearly?
Yeah, the AirPods are terrible, but go ahead.
All right, cool. I'm going to just stick to the point. First and foremost, CK, I respect and condone the comment you just made, but I'm not buying it whatsoever. I don't care what you're talking about. At the end of the day, I'm looking at film right now, and it's just atrocious. I've seen what was going on between the second and the third half. It was horrible. We had close to a 36-point turnaround differential, and we was digging ourselves in the hole. Tibbs knew what he was doing. He was supposed to make that proper call immediately when he called that first timeout. 116 going into the third. Like, come on now. That's horrible. You already knew what available players we had, and you knew what sequential rotations you were supposed to make. These starters are not playing the way they need to. And for Ashley to point out the fact that our bench is playing better than our starters, I'm already pissed over that fact. But I'm taking my win as it is.
Yeah.
We 3-0 right now with this campaign, so I'm gonna take it to OKC, see how we rock out on Friday. But at the end of the day, something's gonna have to give. We talk too much out here in New York for the news not to publicize and know what's going on. We know what's going on. We see it live on the floor. If you ain't got no effort, you're gonna have to sit on the bench and get your contract like Kevin Knox and the rest of them. So
yeah,
it is what it is.
True story, man. True story. Appreciate the call, bro. Appreciate the call. That's my guy, Fats, on the check-in. Salute to Fats, man. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Let me salute some of the super chats that have come in. Where are we here? Catch up on the super chats. I'm trying to see where we left off. Okay, shout out to CL Kenrick, $5 super chat. He says, Alec Burks, 4-point play in the youth helped us defeat the Detroit Pistons tonight. Burks with 34 points, 5 of 8 from downtown. Shout out to the Fudge Shuffle TV, two super chats. He says, Randall needs needs to be on the garbage truck juice protocol. Shout out Paul Robinson. He says, at what point do we panic, CP? Well, look, man, this is the team that you have, man. You know, I think this is our team. You know what I'm saying? I don't see. I told you guys a couple of days ago, I think this is going to be a team that's going to be hovering over 500, give or take a couple of games. But a night like tonight is just inexcusable, man. You know, a night like tonight, you should never find yourself being down 14 points to a team like this. You know, that just shouldn't happen.
Yep.
Absolutely shouldn't happen. Shout out my guy J Cal, Jason Calcanis, $100 super chat. He says, Tibbs letting the bench finish the game is all you need to know. They bring the energy and the starters don't. That bench finish played 15 straight minutes to close this game, man. 15 straight minutes.
And still had more energy than the starters.
And still had more energy than the starters. But that's the thing with Tibbs' rotations here, because suppose they didn't. You know what I mean? So instead of waiting until 3 minutes left in the third to drain the whole bench, why not start it earlier? And then you may need them fresher later in the fourth. You know what I mean? The way he does these rotations is just so extreme. It's crazy. It's absolutely crazy, man. I don't know. I don't know what we're going to do with Tibbs, man. I really don't. Shout out to Ron Hansley, $20 super chat. He says, hit that thumbs up on for your squad. It's the plus 39 in only 24 minutes for me. Miles McBride got me feeling like OG Bobby and Ray Ray in the movie South Central. I'm down with Deuce. Yeah, man. Shout out to Deuce, man. Didn't even need points tonight. Was still quite impactful on the game. So shout out to him for sure. Let's go to the Discord. Michael, let's go.
Salute CK, salute CK, salute Ash, man. I can't. Charlie Brown, Snoopy, Julius Randle, Charlie, Tibbs, and Julius Randle got sick of love relationship going on. You being nicked up. I guess you weren't nicked up for Christmas. I guess the Holy Spirit, the ghost of Christmas past Julius Randle from last year all just possessed you, right? Oh yeah. You not nicked up, bro. You trash. That's what you is. You garbage, bro. Last year was a shell of himself because he played out of his mind with COVID. Now he's the real self, bro. Julius Randle, you playing like Ian Mahinmi, bro. You playing like Luke Anderson. What
he said
doing?
Ian Mahinmi.
Yeah, bro. What you doing, bro? RJ about to go in the insane asylum. Everyone in the starting lineup because RJ been winning for 3 years. I feel bad for that man, bro. Grimes at minus 20 because Julius Randle. Every single person that Julius Randle played with is minus because of him, bro. Come on, man.
Well, in fairness, Grimes just didn't have it, bro. Grimes is bricking out there. It is what it is. I'm not going to put this on him.
Every single time Julius Randle plays with someone, it's just garbage. The energy is so trash. I'm feeling it through my screen. I want to go in the bathroom and I watch the game and just throw up. I can't, man. When Sadiq Bey body you, bro. Sadiq Bey got no freaking jersey sales, bro.
Yeah.
Hamidou Diallo, bro. Come on, bro.
Man went after his jersey.
This game was the New York bench, not the New York Knicks, the New York bench. That's what this game was. The starting lineup was complete dog awful on defense. RJ had it a little bit on offense, and then Mitch did what Mitch. I mean, he had a decent game. Yeah. But come on, bro. I can't with this nonsense of Julius Randle, bro. Julius Randle stopped off the floor with 3 minutes left. He got out. It was 66-52 Pistons. The bench just casually made a 42-19 run over the 15 minutes of the game when Randle was out. That's embarrassing. Alec Burks had more points than the starters. That's embarrassing. Yeah. I don't know. See, you switching on Evan Fournier now, bro? Now we back to Burks side, man?
Oh, no. I've always been Burks side, bro. I've always been Burks side, Big Mike. Well, we can't blame Fournier tonight.
You were switching to Evan Fournier having that CAA TV. Other than that, bro, I'm done with Randle, bro.
All right, man.
Like Samuel Dallenberg, bro. Get out of here, bro.
Michael on the Discord. Salute to Michael, man. Everybody throw some fives in the chat. The rookie of the year coming with some fire, CK. Coming with some absolute fire, bro.
I think it's... I mean, I get that everyone's not the happiest with Julius Randle right now, but I mean, he's not trash. Let's make that clear. Like, you don't go from the season he had last season to drastically being a different. Let me rephrase.
Ashley, he had 5 points tonight.
Hold on. Let me rephrase. Hold on. Julius Randle's problem is not skill. It's mentality. It's effort. If he were trash, the skill would never be there. You see what he's capable of doing. You see the type of player he's capable of being. Why? Because the skill set is there, but also the effort was there. Right now, the skill set's there, but there's no effort. So the skill set's useless without the effort to execute it. So I understand he's not playing the best basketball. I understand that he's not playing basketball that's remnant of last season, but you don't completely lose your skill set because you have lack of effort. You just don't see the skill set because he has no desire to showcase
but
it.
then he's playing like trash.
His game.
That he's playing like trash. He may not be trash.
Yeah,
he's playing like trash.
Here we go. Playing like trash and being trash as a player are two drastically different things. Let's just make that clear. If he were a trash player, he would never be the type of player we saw last season. You don't just wake up one season and say, you know what? I'm going to be the MIP. I'm going to be an all-star. You can't just flip a switch like that if you don't have the skill set. He just does not have the effort to adjust his skill set to better suit the team that he's currently on. He's still trying to play the game he played last season when the game is different now. Your team looks different now. The rules are different now.
You can't do that here, Ash. You can't.
But that's lack.
This is New York. He can't do that here. They're gonna chew him up. They chew him up right now.
That's lack of effort. That's not lack of skill set.
Right, but we don't accept that.
No, I'm just saying, because everyone is talking about he's trash. I want to make those two things very different. That's just not for Randle. That's for players across the board. Your lack of effort to execute your skill set and not having the skill set at all are two drastically different things.
CK, go ahead.
Just putting that out there.
I'm just putting it out. I hear what you're saying. I get what you mean. But as we say it all the time. What have you done for me lately? Lately, he's been playing like trash, and I get what you're saying. And I think people they're gonna be two in their feelings to distinguish the difference between the two. So regardless of if he, went out and played phenomenal, in his next game or not, you can't go back to back and have 13 points yesterday in a diminished Timberwolves team, and then follow that up with 5 points. Yeah. And Tibbs is still trying to give you the opportunity to go out there and do what he is expecting, what he's hoping for you to do. Like, he has everything in his, I don't know what else he could be given to him. Everything, they're giving him the ball from the from baseline to baseline. Like, everything that he could ask for is being given to him. So I get what you mean. Like, yes, Julius Randle, whether the chat agrees or disagrees, he is not a garbage player. I don't care if people in their feelings. I get what you're saying right now. But right now, what have you done for me lately? And Julius Randle hasn't done a lot for me lately right now. He is playing like trash, playing like basura.
I completely agree with that. He's not playing well. He's not having a good season. I just think that it's important across the board when we're speaking about players to not completely disregard someone's entire catalog and their skill set. Rather, not even their catalog, their skill set as a player as trash because they're not having a good season. We know what Julius Randle's skill set is. We've seen it. If it didn't exist, we wouldn't have seen it at all. I just think that his problem is he doesn't have the effort that was there last season. And because of that, his skill set is useless. And also, anybody who has a skill set that was utilized in one season and now it needs to be changed, there's an effort that requires you to make those adjustments. His effort to adjust to what this team looks like now and what's needed of him now is not there. So it's trying to fit a triangle into a circle, a triangle peg into a circle. It's not going to work. Last year it worked because it was a triangle and a triangle. This year you need to adjust. He's not adjusting, but that's different than him being a trash player. If anything, you can say that this season, when it comes to his execution on the court, he's lazy. There's a laziness about him this season. That I will give you, but I'm not going to give anybody that he's trash.
Fans not going to accept that. That's the whole point.
I don't expect them to, but I'm not going to accept that he's a trash player. That's an exaggeration.
So we going to keep bashing the triangle into the circle hole? What are you trying to say? Should we trade him?
No.
We got to get a circle? We got to go get a circle?
You have two options. You have three options. And one option is for Julie. The best players in the world are the best players in the world because they're able to adjust, right?
Facts.
They adjust their game based on their surroundings. Julius is not adjusting. So the adjustment has to come from him. That's an internal thing.
Yeah.
If he doesn't want to do it, then Tibbs, as the head coach, needs to hold him accountable for not doing the work that's needed of him in the situation. And then the third option is the more drastic option. And then you got to start looking at your roster and you got to start moving pieces around when pieces come. I personally don't think that this season is going to get to that point, but I do think that both Tibbs and Julius need to hold themselves accountable as individuals, and he needs to hold himself accountable as the head coach of this team and speak to his quote unquote leader, because right now he's not leading.
Accountability is what we're looking for.
And if there was a problem going on elsewhere, I would buy that. But the thing is, if they're playing well without him, I don't know if that is that you're right. The adapting needs to happen for Julius Randle, but I don't know if we necessarily need to do anything to help him adapt.
Let me get to the phones after this. Go ahead, CK.
But I'm just saying, because I don't know what else the team could do to help him adapt without him adapting himself, without him having a better attitude and having a better focus with them. So I don't know. I just don't know.
Let me get to the phone. Let's get to the phone.
It's a relationship between the two of them.
All right, let's get to the phone. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Knicks post-game line presented by Prize Picks. Knicks win 94-85. Let's get to the phones. I got to get to my guy, man. We heard from Benji. And my guy Benji was in that movie Uncut Gems. Well, right now we're going to hear from the director, the director of the movie, one half of the Safdie brothers, my guy Josh Safdie. Josh, how you feeling, man?
What's up, CP? Hey, CK. What's up, Ashley?
How you doing, bro?
I'm all right. Yeah, I heard you. What's up? Yeah, I think, I had a interesting experience today. There's an OG who hangs out on the corner, and he said, every game he gets up and down as if we get a W or an L. If we get a W, he's up like all of us. Mm-hmm. If we get an L, he's depressed until the next game. He saw me this morning. He said he was feeling all up, and I looked at him and I said, "What are you excited about?" He's like, "We got the W. We're going to turn things around." I was like, "Dude, what we watched last night was not basketball. That wasn't basketball. That was, I don't know what it was. It was like a G League scrimmage." And he looked at me and he said something very simple. He was like, "I thought you were a fan." And then it kind of rocked me, because I was like, I am a fan. I'm a fan first. Can you hear me?
Yeah. We listen. Good.
Yeah. I'm saying I'm a fan first, but I can't help but be very disturbed by what I'm seeing in the team. And when you direct a movie, and I'm not saying whatever, I have this, this perspective. When I'm directing a movie, I have big personalities. I got big egos I have to maintain. They say directing is part babysitter, part directing. Mm-hmm. That's what Tibb has on his hands right now. He has to babysit, lots of egos, and he's got to deal with front office, and he's in a spot because right now, Ashley, I hear you. You're saying that Julius Randle has skills, which we all know. We saw it last year. But for the majority of his career, his skills have not made him a winner. That's just a fact. Last year was an anomaly. He shut me up. He shut all of his naysayers up. And I became a believer. And just like all Knicks fans, we're all abused people. We're like people from an abused relationship where we get a little bit of love and we excuse all the bad things that happen throughout the whole relationship. And that's what happened. That's what I feel. I feel like I've been disrespected by Julius Randle. I feel like all Knicks fans have, because last year he played himself into a contract. Yeah, he took less money, but for what? Last year there was no playbook against him. The playoffs came around. They figured out a way to guard him, and he disappeared, and he hasn't really returned. And how did he handle that? He's handled it by being, a sourpuss. His body language on the court is horrible. He might be our worst defender right now, and that's crazy. Sadiq Bey made him look like a G Leaguer tonight. He's not a good defender. Our best defenders right now are Emmanuel Quickly. I think he's our best defender. McBride, who's our greatest on-ball director, and he's a great help defender. And Taj Gibson. Those are our three best defenders. Mm-hmm. Mitch is kind of a great. He'll save you when the play falls apart. But those are our three best defenders. Julius Randle, every time he's on the court, it doesn't surprise me that his plus minus is continually in the minus. I just think our problem right now is that we're building around a player who's a number one guy. He's not a number two guy. He's not a number three guy. He only knows how to be a number one guy. And when you're a number one guy, you think the offense flows through you. So I think we're in a spot right now. And I'm not saying trade the team and blow it all up, but we're in a spot. And part of me is like, hey, I'd love to sell a high on Julius, but we're not selling high on him right now. If we were to trade him, I don't even know what we would get.
Yeah.
But I do know that we're not him as our number one. I think we're getting maybe out of the first round. Last year, getting out of the first round would have been like a championship for me. Like I would have. That's all I wanted. I believed in that team. I don't believe in this team outside of the players who play hard, and we know who those players are. I can't watch it anymore, and I feel really, really bad for Tibbs, even though he doesn't know what offense is. Mike Woodson was great last year. Mike Woodson is an offensive genius, but he did a lot for the team. Right now, we have no offensive schemes. We just don't. When Randall's on the court, you just run the offense through him. And I don't know. I just want to figure out a way for either Tibbs to kind of check Randall's ego.
That's it. Yeah, that's it. That's the start. Right. That's the start, bro. Tibbs got to hold him accountable.
Commercials of Randall on the car, and they say we got a big Nick here. I see those commercials and I cringe because all I can see is like him, his best transition defense is turning to the ref and saying, "Did you see that?" That's his transition defense.
Yeah.
So I don't really know what the answer is. I know that Tibbs is in a spot. I know that we all love Obi Toppin. Obi Toppin's he's been abused at this point. The guy should be getting 20 minutes a game minimum. But if he doesn't play Randall, it's what we saw with Kemba and the team, the locker room falling apart. You'll see that times 100 if he starts to do that with Julius. So he's in a spot, and everyone knows it. When you're a star player, Tibbs can't bench him, right? You guys think he can't bench him?
But he it's not about bench. But you gotta hold him accountable properly, man. You can't start
off. How is Tibbs?
Because you
how
can't.
Is Tibbs supposed to hold him accountable?
You can't start off the third quarter.
He's the head coach. That's his job.
That's his job. And you.
And I also don't like the revisionist history that we do with players. People do the same thing with Kyrie Irving about he's only played 60 games 4 times in his career, as if he does that because he just doesn't want to play basketball, not like he's injured. Let's not pretend the fact when Julius Randle first got drafted to the Los Angeles Lakers, what happened? He got hurt. Missed the entire season. Yeah, he said he had multiple 45, 34. I'm looking at the stats right now. He was the only Laker in the 2017-2018 season to play all 82 games. He had games where he had 36 points, 45 points. In New Orleans, let's not act like he was a scrub. He was on a scrub team. He had career high games of 45 points. What I'm saying is the revisionist history of, his skill set has never resulted to wins. There have been a lot of players who've been on bad teams, good players with great skill sets on bad teams that just don't win. So let's not say that every single situation Julius Randle has found himself in is his fault.
All right, Josh, get back in. Josh, jump back in here.
I hear you, Ashley, and I respect that, but I think there's a lot of – I'm curious to know who the great players on losing teams are because, I think the best example of that would be Kevin Love because Kevin Love was on a bad team in Minnesota, but it took him going to play with LeBron James to be on a winning team. So I can't stand numbers guys on losing teams, on lottery teams. I just can't. Because I look you're saying that Julius Randle's skill set has never resulted in wins. That's what you said.
My question to you is if you're the only player on a team with a certain skill set that puts you a tier above the guys that you're on the team with, what do you expect him to do? The greatest player in the world can't. Not everyone's LeBron James. Julius Randle's not LeBron James. Let's make that very clear. So what do you want someone to do who's tiers above the skill set of the guys that they're playing with and they're not surrounded by a team that's conducive to winning? What do you want him to do? Play 45 minutes for 82 games straight? I don't understand.
I agree with you, but the problem that's kind of built into the DNA of Julius's game right now is that he's a number one guy. He's been the number one guy on bad teams. So when you're the number one guy on bad teams, all you know how to do is be the number one guy. And I don't think with Julius as our number one guy, we can go farther than leaving the first round.
But that's never been a question. We know that he's not the number one. I think
that's not the goal.
I think
that's not the goal of this regime. The goal of this regime, they're not trying to build a team around Julius Randle. You know what I'm saying? They're trying to improve the team, but it's a process. And right now in that process, he's our guy, do or die. But with that being said, they still have an opportunity to win games. And a night like tonight, Tibbs, as the coach, has to see how this third quarter is transpiring and say, bro, you're playing like trash right now. You got to come out now.
Absolutely.
Send a message now.
A great player. Sorry, CP.
No, go ahead.
A great player does not have the attitude that we're seeing from Julius night in, night out right now. You just don't see that.
No, superstar players have mental toughness, bro. But what Ash is saying, we know that though.
I started off by saying that. I said what the difference is that between great players and everybody else is great players have the ability to adjust. I never said that Julius's mentality, his effort, and all things that fall under that umbrella are correct. And what separates him from a player like LeBron or the late great Kobe Bryant, they can adjust when they have to. They can say, okay, this is the situation I'm in. This is how I need to play. He's not doing that. But the revisionist history of, he's always been on losing teams and his skill sets never resulted in wins, that's not 100% the picture that of him being the main character in that. And that's the only thing that I'm saying is that we have to be careful when we rewrite the history of a player's career, because there's a lot of intricate details in that. And just because I understand it's a what have you done for me lately league, but you can't erase the facts. And the facts are is Julius has never been on a winning team. And that's not to go ahead and justify how he's playing, but you can't go ahead and change what the facts are.
All right, Josh, last point.
What's that? Okay, so last point is what we saw. I don't know. Maybe I'll put this out to you guys before I leave. I don't know what Tibbs is supposed to do right now because trading him isn't an option. That's like CP. You said that last night after the game. You can't. There's no avenue for us to trade him right now. There's nothing out there. I mean, selling the team for Dame. I don't know what that does for us at this point. So the big question for you guys is to think, what can Tibbs do right now that isn't do what he did to Kemba, because I don't think that will be beneficial for the team. Thanks for your time, guys.
Appreciate the call. Josh Safdie of Uncut Gems. Throw a 5 in the chat for that call, man. I thought that was a call of the night. Shout out to Josh Safdie, Uncut Gems. We got a lot of Uncut Gems fans in here. Great movie. Shout out Adam Sandler. Shout out my guy Benji for making his cameo in that. Great job by Josh and his brother Ben. CK, jump in here, man. What you think? What you think about that exchange? I like that exchange. That was a nice.
Yeah, I love the exchange.
Nice exchange.
There was nothing I need to add to because I feel like I understand the conversation and the argument on both sides. But I stand by my statement. I just feel like for Julius Randle, this is a Julius Randle problem. If for us to give him that same respect and for us to believe and think that he is that same guy from last year, you got to at the very least show that. We've seen some games this year where his shot wasn't going in, where he wasn't making the baskets that we're accustomed to or whatever, but he was able to affect the game in other ways. But I feel like that happens in so few games. Like a game like tonight, like I feel like this could have been one of those instances where all right, my shot's not going in, but I'm not gonna let Sadiq Bey, I'm not gonna let these G leaguers go out here and make me look like a scrub like that. Those are the kind of things I want to see out of Julius Randle. Supposed to be our all-star, supposed to be our all-NBA guy, and that's my only point. I'm just saying, like, those kind of things, if you're supposed to be that all-star guy, you're supposed to be that all-NBA, this whatever, you need to do this on a nightly basis, whether your shot is going in or not. You need to be affecting the game as a leader night in and night out. And that's my beef with Julius Randle, and especially in the sample size that we have right now. Back-to-back games, 2 teams that were being built from guys that we've never heard of before, haven't heard or seen since college basketball. And he has an opportunity to back up a bad game yesterday and only provides us 5 points and doesn't really do much of anything else. Those are the kind of things I'm talking about that just, really frustrating when it comes to Julius Randle.
Yeah, and I agree with you on that, man. So to everybody in the chat, once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. When Josh asked what we could do, like I said, Tibbs just got to hold him accountable. You know,
at the least,
at the very least, accountability is all we ask for. Well, I think the logical and realistic Knicks fan understands what this team's ceiling is this year. Obviously, you're hoping that they overachieve again like they did last year. I think most people understand that this regime is not trying to build around him, but this is what we have right now. So with the pieces that we have right now, you still have games in front of you that are winnable games if you play your game. But you can't accept lack of effort and lack of trying and laziness and complaining to the refs and not getting back on defense. He has to be that guy, and he has to understand that when you're in this town and you're wearing that jersey and you're the highest paid player on the team, you have to bring that every single night, or else we're going to chew you up out of here, man. Yeah. That is unacceptable. You can't just be lollygagging. You're playing against the COVID All-Stars. Detroit Pistons, they were struggling to even put a team out there on the court tonight. And you're the worst player on the team. You can't have that. We just can't have that.
And your man is the best player on the other team. Like those are two things you can't have in the same night, for sure.
I started off this entire conversation saying that it's lack of effort and a laziness and not lack of skill. I 100% agree. I don't think benching him is the solution. I don't think Julius is a Kemba. Some guys get benched and it makes them want to work harder. And you saw what happened with Kemba. He came back and he has something to prove. You bench Julius, it's not going to go that same way. I'm willing to bet. I'm like 99.9% sure it's going to mess with whatever's going on in his head more than it's going to help. So that's not the solution for him. The solution is Tibbs has to hold his player accountable. This is your guy right now. Hold your guy accountable, Tibbs. You can't just, let them run amok because you don't want to ruffle any feathers. That's your job as a coach. I'm not telling you got to bench him, but I'm saying you got to have a conversation. I don't know if a conversation's being had. I don't know what's going on behind the scenes. Maybe conversations are being had. Maybe there need to be different types of conversations that have to be had. Hold your guys accountable, not just Julius. Got your entire team. If someone's having a bad night, someone's having a bad season, have that conversation, hold them accountable. But on the other side of that, I'm not going to disrespect somebody's skill set because they're having a bad season. That I'm not going to do, whether it's Julius, whether it's Kemba, whether it's D Rose, whoever it is, because at the end of the day, if the skill set wasn't there, we would never have seen it. So that's what I'm not going to do. But that doesn't erase everything else that's going on right now.
Keenan Lambert in the chat says, sound feels like we lost tonight. Yes, this is us. The chaos and dysfunction of the Knicks and their fan base. You gotta love it, people. We got over 2,000 people in the chat. Hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button if you're highly entertained. I hope you are entertained by our dysfunction and chaos tonight. That's just how it goes, man. Because like I said, they have the opportunity to catch back up in this East race and get into a respectable position. But, games like this, you play a better team, you'll get washed. You can't, you're down by 14 to this team. Can't have that, man. And that's on Tibbs, that's on Randall, man. Gotta play better. My guy Jonathan Macri, Knicks Film School, says in 455 minutes without Randall on the court this year, Knicks are outscoring teams by 15.9 points per 100 possessions, which is, of course, an all-time record.
No. You must be really nicked up, yo.
Oh, man, oh, man, boy. You just can't make it up, man. Can't make it up. All right, let's take another call, and then we'll talk about our prize picks of the night. Let me hear from Drew. It says Hoop something on the Discord. Drew, what? Go ahead and unmute your mic. Hoop realm.
Yo, what's cracking? CK, CP, the crew. You know what it is.
What's good?
So from what I've been watching from this game, I know everyone's talking about the whole, Julius's body language and the fact that we almost lost to a G League squad. But from what I am seeing, I know it's hard to get around that Randall loophole, but if you watch the game closely, you notice that the starting, or at least, how am I saying, the pacing of the starters versus the bench is astronomically different.
Yeah, night and day.
You see when, and also when a guard runs the offense to him, they don't have to worry about a forward running the offense like Randall. You see them play with more pace, which causes the defenders to be more tired in advance, gets easier buckets. And that was like with something that was going on with Alec Burks today. And quickly, even though he had an off game, he was moving the ball a lot. McBride, stuff like that. And the last thing to round it out is, earlier on, you guys were talking about Julius Randle's, taking accountability and Tibbs telling accountability. I'm going to take this a bit off topic for a second from basketball. So if you guys know, there's a team called the Detroit Lions. Their current head coach is called Dan Campbell. And the Lions are off to a rough start at the beginning of the season. Like, trust me, and I'm a very close football watcher. Like, I got NFL Red Zone, all that. So there was a post-game interview. I forget what week it was, like week 7 or 8. The Lions are like 0-8, we're struggling. And Dan Campbell's on there, and he says, talking about his quarterback, Jared Goff, he says, as much as we've been playing well and the guys are fighting hard,
he's got to play better.
But the thing was, he wasn't like brash about it. He said it in a way that was like, we would really like it for him to step up.
Yeah.
And ever since then, it's been a night and day difference. And I'm not saying that Jared Goff is a good quarterback or nothing like that, because he really isn't.
Yeah, it's a good point, though.
For sure.
It's a good point when you're talking accountability. And appreciate the call, Drew. I'm going to just drop you off because we got a lot of people trying to get in. But that's a good point, though, CK.
Yeah.
When we talk about accountability.
Because a lot of that, I mean, I don't want to sit here and talk about the Lions, but yeah, no, up until that point, the dude was just, and I'm not, like you said, I'm not saying that Goff is good or anything like that, but he was just, just a walking body out there. And then after that, you saw him step up his game, regardless of them getting any wins after that. But the point of the matter was, like what we're trying to say, it was the accountability. And I feel like we never hear or see anything like that. Not saying that we need to hear Tom Thibodeau. At this point, I would like to. I'm not saying we need to hear Tom Thibodeau go out there and actually say something about Julius Randle. But, in games like this, when, he's making these mistakes and he's still playing 8 continuous minutes, 7 continuous minutes, and, you're not taking him out, that's what we're looking for. We're looking for that accountability for him to get great. And I think that's a good analogy there where, you heard him step up, first-time head coach, called out his quarterback the right way, and he stepped up. But I don't know, man. I just don't think Tom Thibodeau is that kind of guy that's going to do that. We've come this far, and I don't think we're going to see Tom Thibodeau come out and say something about Julius Randle. Now he's out here to make an excuse for him, which, like I said, I'm still not co-signing this whole nicked up thing. But that's all I'm hearing. All I need to hear right now. He's making excuses for Julius Randle.
Yeah, absolutely, man. All right, we're gonna go to the phones, and then we're gonna do prize picks. We're gonna talk about our picks of the night, and then DaveNotti on the Discord. You're gonna be on deck. So back to the phones we go. Area code 973. You're on the line.
Yo, what's up? It's Poppa Left from Jersey.
Poppa Left, what's good?
What's going on, yo?
Yeah, what's good, bro?
Yo, man, this is 2 years in a row where we're all watching from home, knowing the exact decision that needs to be made, and Tibbs isn't making it. And it's just, I keep getting people saying, oh, Tibbs is a great coach. Tibbs knows more basketball. No, he doesn't. No, he doesn't. He doesn't know any more basketball than the fans watching the game tonight. The fans watching the game, coaching a game, win the game by 40. Okay? That's a fact. That's not overreacting. The fans watching the game tonight would have beat the Pistons as an NBA head coach more than Tibbs did tonight. It was Sadiq Bey and Frank Jackson checked in at 32-27. We were winning the game, and Tibbs, like his mother knocking on the door and him watching Cinemax after dark, ran to Randall.
He said Skinemax.
He got up and he ran. He ran the Randall. He didn't
late night Skinemax was kind of fire, though. Yeah, go ahead.
He ran.
Family show.
Come on, ran. Have a good night. I'm done.
All right, Poppa Left drops the bike. Oh, man. Shout out Poppa Left, man. Salute to everybody in the chat once again. Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. I want to shout out, we got a ton of super chats in here as well, man. Appreciate everybody for donating to the show. Shout out to Marcus Kelly, $50 super chat. He says, look, Randall's playing bad, but you only win a chip with a top 5-10 player. You can't be out there treating players like Bitcoin and buying and selling them when you want. Stars choose where they want to play. Perception matters. Be patient and play the kids. All right, so Marcus has a long-term outlook on things, no doubt. Shout out Kyle Turner, $20 super chat. He says, said it before, I'll say it again. This is essentially the player he's been his whole career. He isn't the focal point of a team. He's back to what he's been the whole career, save for one season with no fans in the stands. Marcus Kelly again says, Ashley's talking that ish. Y'all are all victims of her mentality. Screaming MVP 6 months ago. Now you want to trade him for some butter crunch cookies. Julius can help us if Tibbs puts him in his place. Julius is a great player. Okay, the rest of the comment cut off. Well, appreciate that. Shout out Above the Rim, $10 super chat. Says he's nicked up, sit his ass down for 2 games during this easy schedule. Tibbs is overtly aggressive with Obi when addressing his miscues. Do that ish with Randall. Accountability, man. Shout out to Gotta Be Legend, a $2,500 Costa Rican cologne. Well, not a dollar, but a Costa Rican cologne. Says 1 good season out of 7, well 6 because he broke his leg in the first season. When someone shows you who you are, believe them. Damn. All right, yeah, man, they're going in tonight, TK. Definitely going in tonight. Shout out Greg Film Stuff. Says, I would rather have Obi playing Julius minutes every day of the week. His body language and inability to dominate these last 2 front courts is alarming. He's got to go for whatever we can get. All right, so Greg's Film Stuff wants him up out of there quick, fast, and in a hurry. Ladies and gentlemen at home, I want to let you guys know that this show is presented by Prize Picks. What is Prize Picks? Well, Prize Picks is the latest and greatest daily fantasy sports operator out there on the market. We here at KnicksFanTV, we like to play the prop game at Prize Picks, man. They have the best NBA daily fantasy prop on the market. More NBA props than any other daily fantasy sports platform out there right now. And what do we mean by props? It's simple: overs and unders. So when we play Prize Picks, we play the overs and unders. We pick 2 to 5 players, and all you're doing is you're gonna pick whether or not they're gonna go over or under the stats that Prize Picks has selected for that night. So it's you versus the house. And once again, you're picking 2 to 5 players. You can mix and match sports, so you can play NBA and college football tonight. On Sunday, you can play NBA, NFL football. You can play some hockey as well. So you can mix and match sports. And it's an easy game to play. Now let's see how we did tonight. Because CK, it was a mixed bag for me right now. I still got some action in there, but it was a mixed bag for me today. So what I did tonight was I went with, as JD said, my lock of the night was Ja Morant over 24.5 points against the Lakers. Lakers can't guard anybody, can't guard my grandma, and point guards for sure they can't guard. Ja Morant finished with 41 points tonight. DeMar DeRozan is having a red hot December, man, killing it in December. Just came off a 33-point outing against the Hawks. I went over with DeRozan tonight with 26, but this game finished in a blowout in Chicago, and DeMar DeRozan finished with 20 points, so I did not hit that. I also went with Cam Reddish, starting tonight for the Hawks. I felt like Reddish was on a hot streak, also scoring in the 30s in that last game against the Bulls. I went with Reddish over 19.5 points, but Reddish finished just shy, finished with 14 points. He needed 20 for me to crack that over, so I didn't get that. Right now, I have Joe Ingles starting tonight in place of Donovan Mitchell. And Joe Ingles over CK 11.5 points. Right now, he has 5 points. That game should be close to halftime right now, so I'm feeling pretty good about it. We'll see what happens in the second half of the game, but Joe Ingles over 11.5 points was my selection. And then my 5th selection tonight, I went to Clint Capella. The Bulls, not a great rebounding team. One of the last in total rebounds. Clint Capella, absolute dog on the boards. I went with Clint Capella over 14.5 points, and he got the over. He finished with rebounds. He got the over. He finished with 15 rebounds, so I just hit that. So right now, I missed 2, I got 2, and I got 1 more in play with Joe Ingles, and that'll give me a chance to win a little bit of money, but wasn't the $200 that I was looking to play with right now. But you guys at home, go ahead and play to win, man. Go to prizepicks.com or download the Prize Picks app and enter promo code KFTV. They will match your deposit of up to $100 on 100%. So it's a great deal. CK, how'd you do tonight, man?
Well, I ain't gonna waste y'all time. It was not a good night. After coming off of two good nights on Monday and Tuesday, it's been a rough few days for me. And today I only hit on 1, and that was Sadiq Bey on the over on his points. And that's
I like
all
Sadiq. I did like
that.
Sadiq Bey tonight, bro.
Yeah, 32 points. The over-under was, I think, 18.5. Yeah, I took that one. No offense, Julius. I just thought, he was going to go out there. And not only that, he was the number one option with everybody missing. You knew he was going to let that thing fly.
Yeah.
So I went on the over that. But that's about how good my night went. And I'm going to leave it at that. So it was a rough night for Prize Picks for good old CK over here.
I did like Sadiq Bey tonight, man. I was tempted to go with RJ in the under 14.5. A good thing I didn't take that.
Good thing you didn't do that, right?
Yeah,
right,
RJ actually finished with a pretty nice stat line tonight. So I think he had 15 and 7. So it's a good thing I didn't take that one. All right, back to the phones we go. Let me hear from DaveNotti on the Discord. Dave, you're live, man. Go ahead and unmute your mic. DaveNotti. Yep. Dave going once.
Y'all hear me?
Yeah, loud and clear, man. Yo, what's good, bro?
Chilling, fam. How you doing?
Good, man. What's good?
What's good with you, Ash? What's good with you, CK?
Hi.
Yo, you coming in kind of low, man. Are you in like a library or something, man? You good?
The library, CP?
Yeah, he has like his library voice.
My library card.
He sounds like he's like the Quiet Storm host. Man. All right, let's go.
So, real quick, I wanted to agree with Ash. You know what I'm saying? Like,
Thank
a lot
you.
of y'all fans and y'all feelings for real. You know what I mean? Like, there's a clear distinction between like trash and the effort piece that she brought up. You know what I'm saying? Like, y'all really got to relax. You know what I mean? Like, I get that somebody's not playing well today or yesterday or the game before that. You know what I'm saying? So on and so forth. Like, I get all that, but y'all conflating your feelings with reality. Like, calm it down for real. You know what I'm saying? Like, I see Gotta Be Legend with the super chat, 1 good season out of 7. You ignoring the other teams he's on, fam. Like, you act like he was really clicked up in New Orleans like that. You know what I'm saying? Like, be easy. You know, it's really not that deep. You know what I'm saying? Like, again, I get that we mad. I really do. You know what I mean? But you acting like everything that he gave last year, and I'm not trying to make it seem like, well, that's all we need. You know what I'm saying? Like, you acting like you didn't see the same games we saw last year. You know what I mean? Like, don't dismiss what this man can actually do. And before I know what you're about to say, I actually agree with you on the accountability part. Like, this man needs to sit for real. Like, Tibbs definitely needs to be like that good Jamaican grandfather who would come in and like really disrespect you. You feel me? Like, if you was like you talking back to your moms, you know what I'm saying? Like, he needs to really get in there. You know what I'm saying? I'm 100% on board with that. I'm just also not about like casting this man aside. Like, we didn't just pay him. Y'all really got to live with it for the next 3 years at least. You know what I'm saying? So it's like,
I mean, I hear you, David, and appreciate the call, man. Definitely appreciate that. The lack of effort is not gonna slide, man. It's not gonna slide. People can see that. You can't hide that. And when you're the guy, when you're the number one guy, quote unquote, on this team, people are not going to excuse that. Now, the whole trash thing, I just think that, that's fans, jumping out there and just, speaking from emotion. They're fanatics. Fans short for fanatics. So that's understandable. I don't think, Knicks fans are knowledgeable. I don't think you could look at his skill sets and say he's all the way trash.
No, but that's the thing. I think a lot of them believe that he's trash, which is concerning.
But I think it's just calling it out. I think it's just calling out the lack of effort.
The lack of that. But that is a drastically different thing. And this is the same chat. I didn't forget. This is the same chat. This is the same fan base that wanted to trade Obi Toppin last season because he wasn't producing fast enough. And what did I say? He didn't have a full rookie experience. Give him some time. It's just a bad year. This fan base is too emotional when it comes to bad games and bad seasons. These guys are human at the end. Again, this is not excusing Julius. This is not excusing any player who makes a drastic decline. But to throw around things like trash and this person needs to be traded and this person that because they're not producing either fast enough or there's a decline is why most players don't want to come to New York. The fan base at times lacks common sense. And I'm saying that out of a place of love. The fan base lacks common sense when it comes to emotion. Julius Randle is not trash. His skill set has shown us that. He's having a terrible season. He's lazy. He's inconsistent. There's a lack of effort. That does not make him trash. And you guys aren't going to do to him what you did to Obi Toppin. Now all of a sudden everyone's on the Obi Express, right? Because now he's no longer quote unquote trash. Like, you guys can't keep playing both sides of the fence. If you think he's trash, if he turns it around, don't hop back on the bandwagon like you did with Obi Toppin. I hate when people try to play smart and stupid at the same time. If you're going to stand in your conviction, then stand in it. And if he turns it around, don't try to hop back on the bandwagon like you did with Obi Toppin. I'm tired of this flip-flopping thing. It annoys me. I find it annoying.
Let's go to the phones. 570, you're up next. 570, what's your name? Where you calling from?
Yo, what's up, y'all? It's Khalil from Brooklyn. I'm still nursing this COVID. What's up, CP? What's up, CK, what's up, Ashley? Hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Yeah, honestly, like, I hear you, Ash. I really do. And I've been very idealistic about Julius Randle, but the man's a year older than me. I'm sorry. I'm not giving any excuse for effort. You're being paid $100 million. Like, even RJ Barrett, who's coming off of COVID, like, he didn't play the best. He still had 15 points. He's making an effort out there. Kemba, his knees look like they're about to fall apart, but he's still, trying to defend, at least somewhat. You're supposed to be the guy. I need to see more effort out of you. This game would have been a disaster. This game was so hard to watch till the bench came in. And Tibbs, I think Tibbs and Randle have this really toxic relationship where Tibbs refuses to hold Randle accountable, whether it be to the press, whether it be rotations, whatever, refuses to give him any accountability. And Randle just doesn't put in the effort. Like, I disagree with, Ari and Jay from Florida about fans in the stands. I don't know how you can say that when then, it's a nationally televised game and he's putting up, looking like a superstar. Like, that doesn't make sense. Pick a lane. But at the end of the day, if you're the guy who's supposed to be the leader, you need to act like a leader. And that means making an example for your rookies. You can't have the bench outscoring you because you decide you want to, take breaks off plays. You're losing. So, as CP was saying, the G League All-Stars, because you don't want to play, then what are you here for? And I'm not team trade Randle. I'm not team move pieces for Randle. I think he needs to figure it out. He needs to figure it out. And whether that means Tibbs acts on it, I don't think that's going to happen. But something needs to give. I don't want to make excuses for this man. I can't.
All right.
I can't. I really can't. I don't know what needs to happen. Okay. And I'm really nervous about this OKC game. I'm really nervous. I don't know what's gonna look like. But Deuce High stand up. I think Grimes learned a lot from Deuce's play tonight because I feel bad for Grimes. Love Grimes. He got pulled out when he missed those 5 shots, but Deuce didn't score at all. But he was putting the effort in. He was protecting the ball. Randle can actually learn a lot from Deuce in ball protection. But something needs to give. Something needs to give. I don't know what's going to happen.
Thanks for the call, man.
All
right, we're going to go rapid fire calls because we got a ton in the queue. Let me go to, these looks like some international calls right here. 614. I think we're going to Australia. 614. What's good? Hello?
Hey, guys. This is Mo from Australia.
Mo Ballin checking in from Australia. Salute, Mo. What's good?
Look, first of all, love the show. Again, guys, hit those thumbs up. Get that up there. Fantastic show. Look, I've got to pretty much align with what Ashley's been saying. We have to be consistent with our analysis. And just a couple of quick fire takes here. Number one, we all know Randle is not a championship-winning option. He's in there for consistency, which leads me to number two. The starters aren't providing. They're hot and cold. Again, I will come back to a chemistry issue. The reason why I say this, last year, yes, we had a bubble, but let's exclude that whole bubble bit. The point was Randle would go in, RJ would go in, they would kick out, and you would have someone to hit the three-point shot. You had Bullock. Bullock was it. That was his job, right? Now you have Fournier and Kemba taking the ball up and away from them. Again, I'm repeating myself. I'm sorry for this. But you look at the top leading teams in the Eastern Conference, you have consistent output from their primary scorers, right? We're not getting that. It's inconsistent because we're not playing through RJ. I want to see RJ as our number one option moving forward. I'm talking about long-term, medium to long-term. He's got the IQ, he's got the tangibles, and we've got to let it work. But you can't get that when they're not getting their touches. And moving to point number 3, really quick fire here.
Mm-hmm.
This team isn't championship building. What we're trying to build is a winning culture. And this kind of leads to, let's just put the GM front office hat on. We can't start nilly-willy trading people just fine. It sends a bad signal. We've got to play it through. And this is my final point. I'm really sorry. I didn't make a Christmas wish that Kemba would be back on court and, show us out a bit. And he kind of did that. So I guess my Christmas wish kind of came through. I don't know if you remember about a couple calls back.
Yeah.
But, that's on me, I guess. Maybe my wish came through. Thank you, Santa. But, again, it leads to the point about chemistry. My final point is, guys, we need to build some chemistry. The second unit has so much good chemistry. But it comes back to Ashley's key point, engagement and ultimately people holding themselves accountable. We all work day jobs. I got a day job.
Mm-hmm.
I have to be held accountable. I hold myself accountable when I rock up to my work.
Right.
Now,
yeah.
Does that mean a team psychologist that's required? I don't know. But, guys, I still take a win as a win. We play the team in front of us. Whichever way we get a win, we get a win. And I don't know. Maybe it's like last year. We turn the new year and we see a whole new different Knicks team. I don't know. I'm looking forward to that. So, shout out to everybody and the Knicks fans TV. Happy New Year a bit early from my end because we've
Happy New Year.
Yeah. You about to hit New Year's like tomorrow. It's about to be 2022 in Australia like tomorrow, Mo. So good luck to you, man.
Pretty much. But I love the show, guys, and yeah. Happy New Year, everyone, and catch you on the other side.
Mo balling down in Australia. Salute to Mo. Salute to everybody in the chat. Once again, hit that thumbs up button for your squad. Throw your cities and your country in the chat, man. Where you guys watching us from? Where you guys tuning in from? Type in your city in the chat. Throw your country flag in the chat, and we will shout you guys out. Also, if you guys are new in the chat, we got 2,600 people in here. Leave a hashtag new in the chat, and we will shout you guys out as well. I want to shout out Above the Rim. He says, sends a $50 super chat. Appreciate you. He says 2.6 in the chat. We only got 900 likes. What is wrong with you people? They're all acting like Randall on the bench when the bench mob gets back the lead. There should be over 5 turnovers locked for Julius every night on Prize Picks. Yeah, Prize Picks doesn't do turnovers. If they did, Julius would make me a lot of money, man. Definitely would make me a lot of money. And he says Cowboys bias. Yeah, let's get those likes up like my guy Above the Rim said, man. Hit that like button. Hit that thumbs up button. We got to crack the YouTube algorithm, man. Let them know it's the #1 show for the fans, by the fans. All right, let's see where people are checking in from. We got Finn Jeffrey checking in from New Zealand. Khalil, East Flatbush, what's good? DSOSD checking in from the UK. All right, so they're up early or up late, however you want to consider it. Building Roots checking in Harlem World, USA. What's going on? Christian Cologne says he's checking in from North Korea. All right, salute to you, man. He's got internet cracking. He's watching Post Game Live, no doubt. Shout out Randy Tillman, Long Island. Aunt Dunn, team hashtag new. How you feeling? Ash, who you want to shout out in the chat right now?
Shout out to Australia in the building. I see the UK is also in the building. Dominican Republic. Let's see. We got Harlem in the building. Oklahoma, North Carolina. Let's see. Long Island in the building. Shout out to LI. Shout out to Killer Queens in the building.
Mm-hmm.
Philly in the building. Shout out to Miami in the building. What's up, Barbados? Shout out to Barbados.
There you go, CK.
Bop, 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 bop.
Yes,
Oh, I see France in the building.
Okay.
Mexico. Shout out to everybody. We're international. That's what's up.
Yeah, man. Gregory Joseph, what's going on? Callie, Paul Quick, what's going on? Sports Squad Gaming, hashtag new. CK, who you want to shout out, bro?
Yeah, I was gonna shout out those news right there. Yeah, I'm seeing everyone. We got someone saying South Korea. Someone said North Korea buying that Buffalo. But yeah, we got some news. A lot of news coming in. Najee Jean, shout out to you. Puerto Rico. Michael checking in.
Was that your Puerto Rican accent?
You heard that, right, Ash? You heard that, right?
What?
Yeah.
No.
Did you try to add a little like Rico Suave to it? Little Papi Chulo?
Puerto Rico. That was my attempt. That was really
Did you try to Papi Chulo that or?
No, my first. No. Judge me by that second one. Don't worry about that first one. That first one you can throw on track. Put that one on track. Yeah, shout out to all the news.
Oh, man. Shout out. Who else we got in here? Yeah, shout out to everybody, man. David Suarez, team hashtag new. Shout out to you. All right. A couple more calls before we wrap up. Great show. We're going to keep it in Australia, man. 614, back at it. Australia, what's going on?
Can you guys hear me?
Yeah, man. Who is this?
Emil from Australia.
Emil Bowmansour. Is that how you pronounce your last name? How you pronounce your last name, bro?
Yeah, you got it. You got it, man. Spot on.
Emil Beaumansour, big time supporter of the show. Emil, how you feeling, man?
Yeah, all right, man. I'm a bit pissed off, but like you said before, if we versed another team, we would have got washed tonight. And
yeah,
I'll take it one step further. If we versed the Thunder and played the exact same, we're going to get washed as well.
That's
like
facts.
Thunder are better than the Pistons, even though they're garbage. Like we would have got washed as well.
Yeah.
But I don't understand how like Randall and the starters, like they showed zero pride and effort. Like imagine watching your bench every game erase the deficits that you've created, then you still come out and show zero urgency. Like it's actually disgusting. Like I can't even blame Tibbs for that. Like he cannot teach effort and pride. Like I'm sick of Randall saying in the post game that we are going to turn this around. Like can you please like show a sliver of like proof? Like if I was Randall this game in particular, I would have wanted to like go 30 and 15 and try to revive my All-Star hopes. Like you're versing scrubs. Like you should want to destroy them.
Yeah.
All right.
But yeah, man. Like I'm pretty pissed off. But yeah, even every single starter that doesn't play with Randall plays better with the bench. Like even RJ and Mitch, they play way better with the bench. And then Burks is back on the bench and he has his best game of the season. So like they're clear like patterns that need to be addressed. Yeah, that's all I have, man.
Yeah, man. Appreciate the call. Right on time. Your call was just about to drop off. I appreciate the call, Emil. I mean, you see how Taj Gibson played tonight? That's how you play with pride. That's how you play with energy. That's how you play with effort. That's one player on this team whose effort I can never question on a nightly basis. That's my guy, Taj. My man shows up every night to work. That's what you got to do, man. That's what you got to do.
No
That's-
minutes, some
listen.
minutes, always ready.
Yeah.
That's sometimes all, like we said in the beginning of the show, sometimes that is all you can ask. Not all you can ask. Sometimes I think that is the most underrated, most important aspect of a player. Doesn't matter what type of player, I mean, there are some players who are anomalies, right? They can go out and half-ass it and it's still better than someone's 100% effort. There's a very few group of those guys. For me, anybody who's logical understands that the trials and tribulations of a season, and then from season to season, they will vary. That's just the nature and the business model of the NBA. No one is consistently the same throughout every single season of their career. For me, effort or lack thereof is the most concerning thing, because sometimes you get into a mindset of what's the saying? Familiarity brings content. It's you're so caught up in the way that you currently are that you can't snap yourself out of it. And that's my biggest concern with Julius, is that he is formulating a habit of just being okay with being okay and not even consistently okay, that I'm concerned that he's not going to be able to switch it off when he has to. And I'm not worried about his skill set. I'm worried about him flipping the switch or waiting too long to do it, and then it can't be done. And that's my concern, not only for him, but for all the guys on our team and for players in general, because that's a very hard thing to do.
All facts. All right, let me a couple more. Let's go Fredo on the Discord. Fredo, what's good?
Gentlemen, Ashley, as always, thanks for taking my call.
How you doing, bro?
I'm doing great. I hope you guys are doing good as well. Ash, you were spitting Jadakiss bars all night tonight. I like it, man. I like it.
Thank you.
Fredo simping. All right, let's go.
All right. Let me get to it. Now, before I say what I want to say, I want to make it clear. I'm not defending the starting lineup, and I'm not bashing the bench. I'm calling about the plus minus driving me nuts. I just want to say that the plus minus, it's not an individual stat. It's a team stat. Like, it's affected by a lot of people not understanding this. So when they're saying like, oh, Obi had a plus 37 tonight, yeah. Do you think it has something to do with the fact that IQ and Alec went off of 51 points? And Obi was on the floor with them for most of that.
Yeah, team stat.
You know what I'm saying? When Randall has a negative 27, you think it has something to do with not only the fact that he shot 2 for 11, but for the fact that the other 4 starters shot 9. I mean, yeah, what was it? 9 for 29 for tonight. Like we got to take everything into account. And real quick, the last thing I'm going to say is everybody that's bashing Randall right now, and they want McBride and Grimes to play and take their minutes, and they want to trade Randall and all this nonsense. These are the same players that are now bashing RJ Barrett And let me tell you something. They're going to learn their lesson because when McBride and Grimes go through like a 5-game slump, and you know what's going to happen? The community is going to say,
they'll be next.
Let's trade
They'll be next.
McBride and Grimes.
Yep.
And it's never, ever going to stop. They did it to Randall. They did it to Obi. Now they're doing it to RJ. Now RJ got to go. And it's just never, these people are never going to be happy. And they have a right to have an opinion, but they're just miserable. And I hope people wake up and get off this misery train. And, that's pretty much all I got to say. Have a good night, guys.
All right. Appreciate the call.
5-star call.
Appreciate the call.
5-star
Appreciate
call.
the call. Actually, you just like the compliment. 5-star call. All right.
5-star call.
Let's
well
go.
done.
Let's
Well
go.
done.
Shout out Raven Jimenez, $5 super chat. He says, I think we're at the point where we want to see what Tibbs can do. If Randall is out, the floor just looked terrific with Obi out there. Still felt like a loss. Okay. Shout out to Raymond. All right, a couple more calls before we go. I see J Boogie the closer in here. He's waiting. All right, let's go 917. 917, you up next. What's your name? Where you calling from?
Yes, Debbie Downer.
Oh,
yeah.
This is like musical chairs, man. I got no call screeners. My call screeners got COVID. My other one's out of town. So we just going randoms. But I stumbled on the Debbie Downer. Here we go. Buckle up.
Yeah. Hey, I want to say this. First off, wake up, Knicks fans. Wake up. Smell the coffee. Fredo, smell the coffee, my brother. This team is 25th in points per game at 105 a night. This team is 29th in assists with 21 a game. This is a low-level team. This team is going nowhere fast. Yep. These wins are fake COVID wins. Playing G League teams. I don't care if we won 10 straight. We're not playing anybody. Randall is getting worse and worse. Randall's body language is nasty. I'm an executive at the biggest bank in the world. You think if I go into a board meeting and get up when my boss is talking, you think that's going to run over smooth? You don't set the example for the kids by getting up mid-huddle, right? You don't set the example for the kids by not running back on defense. You're not doing the right thing. You're a grown man. He just looks like a child. He's 27 years old, and he looks like he's 19 on the court with his body language and his effort. It's nasty. He looks like he got paid. He just want to go home to Kendra and spend the money for the next 4 years. This will not end well. In February, we could get as many wins as we want now. In February, we playing Brooklyn, Philly, Utah, Denver, Miami multiple times. That's the gauntlet. Yep. In February, it's going to get real. This is when we play the real teams. We're not even playing up to the level of G League teams. Imagine when we get in front of the real boys in February. It's going to get nasty. We're talking about the point guard rotation. Kemba looked finished tonight. He's had a great month. He's the player of the week. But this is what I'm talking about. We got to stack draft talent. We got to draft the point guard and get somebody in here that's younger. He can't play back to back.
Yeah, I didn't see the need to play him tonight. I really didn't see the purpose. What was the point of playing Kemba tonight? You didn't even need him.
None.
Bro,
to me, tonight would have been a night where I want to see extended McBride minutes with quickly rotate. You got Burks out there. We didn't need Kemba tonight. I already knew this was the effort that we was the performance we were going to get from Kemba tonight. We didn't need him.
Same thing,
brother. Randall is letting us know exactly what Tibbs is, what the league thinks about Tibbs, Kevin Love, Jay Crossover. They all think he's supposed to be this tough guy, but he has no handle on the star player. He doesn't know what to do with his team. He's playing people unrealistic. Poor Taj, man. Let's see what Taj is doing Friday after all these minutes. You know what I'm saying? Like, come on, man. This is not how we going, man. You're playing these old men. You running into the ground. You're not playing the kids. I mean, you played them in the fourth quarter tonight, but it just it's random, bro. He's reaching for starts. He's reaching for straws. He's panicking. Tibbs doesn't actually know what he's doing, and it's frustrating, man. It's an idea. It was the LA Fitness Coach of the Year. It wasn't the actual Coach of the Year. I keep saying it. Randall, Randall was the LA Fitness MIT. It wasn't an actual vote. I don't care what you say, Ash. I don't care how many conversations you have. It's nasty. He looks nasty out there. He looks like he doesn't care about New York City. We love players that leave it on the court.
That's true.
We watched Patrick Ewing in the 90s leave it on the court every night, sweating, his knees banded up. We watched Spree in Houston leave it on the court. Don't even talk about Starks. He's talking about a different level of passion. Randall shows none of that. He doesn't represent New York City that well. You know what I'm saying? I'm frustrated. That's why I say let's get in the draft. Let's let Warpaint do his thing. The front office is an idea. It's all a fraud. Worldwide Western haven't been hot for 15 years. They took a pick with LeBron and CP3 15 years ago. They haven't been hot since then. These new players don't care about Worldwide West. They don't care about Leon Rose. They scamming.
That's not true, man.
Scamming out your money, my brother.
That's not true, Jay, man. Come on, man. That's not true.
They don't care, brother. Anyway, Happy New Year to y'all, man. It's love. Peace and love, respect, CT, Ash, CK. I'll see y'all next year. Cool.
Happy New Year, man. Jay from Florida. And when he means next year, it means after the Thunder game on Friday night. Shout out Jay from Florida, man. Happy New Year. No, look,
then why Worldwide West and Rose catch a stray?
Catching strays, Ash.
That was crazy. Just
catching
like
strays,
multiple
man.
strays for no reason. Like,
sheesh, cold-blooded.
Nah,
I don't agree with that.
I ain't with that.
I don't agree with that. They're very well connected, and it don't mean every player is gonna follow them wherever they go. But at the end of the day, you know, I keep saying it. I'm gonna throw my CAA TV hat on. These guys,
you've accepted it.
I've accepted
That's
it.
all right. They call me CAA Ash, so I guess we in the agency together.
You know
so
what I'm saying?
Good.
Well, I'll throw my CAA cap on and say, look, the goal is not to build a championship around Julius Randle. These guys are not that dumb. You like how they drafted so far? Stay patient. Stay patient in the process, man. They just got here. And as JD said, JD's not here. We will evaluate them when they make the big move.
Yeah.
Right now, the big move is not out there for us. So I'm actually on board with them not panicking just yet for the sake of just making a move. Who you guys out there want to trade right now to seriously upgrade this team? Because it's not going to be Randall. It's not going to be Fournier. That's going to be the ones getting you a premium player back. All right? You better be willing to part with Quentin Grimes, McBride, some more draft picks. IQ might be in a package. You probably got to trade Obi. You're going to have to pay to play to get something in here. You want Simmons? You want Dame? You're going to have to pay to play, man. Right now, I appreciate the fact that they haven't panicked yet and are trying to mortgage the future for nominal gains. But that just means that we gotta settle for what we have right now. And over time, look out to try to make improvements to the team. That's all. That's all. You know, when people say I'm CAA TV, I'm that's all I'm saying. I'm gonna give them some leeway, the benefit of the doubt right now. This is year 2 in the process. It is a process. It's not going to flip overnight. This team may not go from a first-round exit to a second-round exit. Maybe they don't even make the playoffs. Who knows? But we got to see this thing through and see how it plays out. Got to see how it plays out, man. That's all I'm saying. All right, we're gonna close the show up. Let's go to the closer. J Boogie, North Carolina. Let's go.
Salute, salute, salute. 3 capital S's. Shout out to everybody, man. Everybody stay healthy and safe. Continue on practicing this way of living and way of life, you know what I'm saying? Because that thing is still out there, you know what I'm saying? Protect yourself, protect your household, protect your loved ones, you know what I'm saying? Do everything you got to do to make sure you're doing the right thing to keep that thing up off you. Go get your vitamins, do everything you got to do. Well, I'm just going to share a couple of things real quick, you know what I'm saying? Because the whole world is divided. You know what I'm saying? It's split. It's no bridge in between us, so we're not coming together. You know what I'm saying? And sometimes it's okay, sometimes it's not. Everybody has their own opinion about this and that. That's how you make conversations. But when you take your opinions and your conversations, you know what I'm saying, and lead them into a direction, you know what I'm saying, as far as just anger, you out of control with that. Well, I'm gonna say this right. At the last game last year, when we was eliminated by the Atlanta Hawks, everybody stood up and applauded the squad. You know why? Because they applauded and appreciated the hard work and energy all year long. You know what I'm saying? But when I say that, I don't say that for Julius. I say that for the whole New York Knicks team. Everybody there is playing on their own time. Nobody is playing together as a team. Together, everybody always matter. I'm going to say team again. Together, everybody always matter. We're not formed together as a team. We point too many fingers. The players are pointing fingers at one another. The fans are pointing fingers at one another. The podcasters point fingers at one another. The chats are pointing fingers at one another. For what? Figure out a way how to come together and stop throwing everybody up under the bus. Point blank. Stop it, man. Please stop it. You know what I'm saying? It's going to take a minute to fix our team and get right. You look outside in New York City, you see the same construction in the same spot that's been there for 3 years and they still ain't fixed it, man. Be patient, man, for a little bit, man. My consciousness is way up here. I can go on blank mode for Julius, you know what I'm saying? But I don't do that because I don't know who's listening, who's not listening, you know what I'm saying? And I want the brother to get his game right. I'm the one that dropped the MIP. I'm the one that spent $5,000 on a track. I'm the one that spent another $2,000 in a studio and laid that track down. You know what I'm saying? And I got another joint called Let's Do It Again that I was supposed to drop this year, but I'm not dropping it because I want to tell the truth about our players. And if you're not performing right, I can't do that for you. But the best thing I can say about Tom, do what you did tonight. You always say when you're playing good and you get on the court, you're going to get extended playing time. Reverse that. When you're playing bad, you're going to get limited time. What you did tonight was right. That team, our starting team, would have not won that game, so it's best that you took them out that game, and the best thing you did after that was not put them back in the game. And it showed a hard work effort by some other guys that's on the second string that want to eat. If them guys can't see that them guys on that bench is trying to take their jobs, then it's a problem, man. You know what I'm saying? It's a problem. But everybody, please relax just a little bit. Stop pointing the fingers. Figure something else out. Get yourself together. Worry about the COVID and everything. We getting all out of character about our basketball team. And stop acting like you ain't going to love them tomorrow. I'm out, man.
That drops the mic. Throw some fives for J Boogie, putting this thing in perspective. The Hatfields and McCoys came out tonight. I was pretty entertained. I actually like getting that energy out. That was fun. That was fun for me. You know what I'm saying? That was fun. I hope everybody was entertained. No, this is not personal. This is just being a fan. Fan is short for fanatic. This is what we do. You know what I'm saying? This is what we do. Get that energy out. It's all good. This is Knicks therapy. You know? This is Knicks therapy. Well, great show. Great show. The Knicks did win the game. 17-18 on the campaign. 94-85. Yes, they did win. Still in the hunt, man. Still in the hunt. This was game 2 of the 4-game road trip. Now on to OKC. Shai Gilgeous. I think Josh getting the COVID protocol, CK? I'm not sure if he's back or not.
I don't know if he's back yet.
Yeah.
I don't know.
But obviously, you know, that Thunder team will be it's a young, scrappy team. Not to be overlooked. They just lost to the Suns tonight, 115-97. You know, you got Lou Dort. Shai Gilgeous. It didn't even look like Shai Gilgeous played. I don't see him on the...
Yeah, I don't think he played tonight.
He didn't play tonight. Where is he? Interesting. Okay. All right. Well, either way, after tonight's outing, definitely not a team you want to overlook. But great show either way. All right, let me salute the super chats that have come in because we did get a ton of super chats. Definitely appreciate everybody who supported and who donated tonight. Much appreciated. All right, so we'll start with Orphanage Builder DeGrom says the Cowboys. All right, I'm not even reading that. This is a family show, sir. This is a family show. You gotta take that somewhere else, man. Take that to Cowboys Fan TV. Shout out Steve Verda, $10 super chat. He says Taj with the Kurt Thomas energy. Turnover Randall struck again. Thank God Alec Burks wore his like Mike sock. Tonight showed how important the Fournier pickup was. You need scoring from the shooting guard position. Shout out to Fife. He says Florida, new fan here. Shout out to Fife. He says became a Knicks fan after going to my first B-ball game in MSG against Philly. Got my first Kemba jersey too. All right, so shout out to Fife.
Nice.
New viewer and new Knicks fan. All right. Al Diddy says there's a difference between effort and having a bad game. Randall ain't giving effort. Carl Barnett 83 says no matter how you flip it, this is on Tibbs. If he doesn't hold Randall accountable, it's on him. $5 cash because that's what this starting five is worth right now. Shout out to Charlie, $10 super chat. He says checking in from Corona, Queens, COVID free. So congratulations to Charlie. He was in the health and safety protocol, but he got up out of there. So nice job. Kel's the bell ringer. Appreciate the super chat. Above the rim, appreciate it. Go get a 0712. Says Ash needs a Snickers bar or an angel call, but go Knicks. Give Julius the Kemba treatment. Shout out my guy Eugene in the Bay Area, $10 super chat. He says, LOL, Ash, we know he's not really trash. When we say trash, we are New Yorkers, so we over-exaggerate. What we mean when we say trash is we don't need that. That was a great super chat, Eugene. Shout out to Eugene.
Love how this man tried to give me a whole definition of the word trash.
on.
Like I have no idea what it means. Thank you, though. Appreciate
but what he
it.
said is, we're not necessarily going at the talent. He's just
He
saying he's
may
playing
not
trash.
be, but there's
You know
a
what I'm
lot
saying?
of people who don't mean that when they say trash. And
Right.
there's just a line that needs to not be crossed, especially when talking about our own players, is my whole point. That's what I'm saying.
All right. Shout out Dirk Joseph. He says, get the entire hell out of here. We as fans, one thing we do is flip-flop, especially when players are sucking. All right, so I guess Dirk's with you, Ash. Shout out to Mike Blunts. So we know more than Tibbs, LMAO. That's why Gilbert said what he said when he did not lie. Either we as Knicks fans need to do better. All right, so Mike Blunts is there. Blade Pinderhue says Panda Bear came through with the max. Stop the cap. Julius needs to step his game up. Everyone said it was a fluke. He should have came in with a chip on his shoulder. No cap. Josh Dua says that's Randall talking. Okay. All right. Didn't understand that super chat, but appreciate it. Matt Norcott, $5 super chat, says, CP, were you an Allen Iverson fan growing up? Yeah, definitely, man. Bubba Chuck. Shout out to Bubba Chuck, man. Went to school at Hampton University. 757 VA stand up. Used to dribble down to VA. So, yeah, man, definitely an AI fan. Carl Ramsey, $5 super chat, says, if Julius wants to be a leader, he needs to examine what make Knicks players a legend in this town. Heart, effort, grit. All facts. Russell Whiskey, $5 super chat, says, trade Randall to Nizhny Novgorod for a dozen babushkas and a handle
What are you
of
reading?
Huh?
What are you saying?
I don't know if this is like a pop culture reference from a TV show or something, or is this an actual city? I'm not sure. Russell, you got to throw another something in the chat and explain that one, man.
You drunk on the keyboard.
Yeah, I don't know. And plus my eyes is going on. I need my glasses on right now.
Gotta bring out the specs.
Yeah, I got to break out the specs, man. I'm seeing double vision right now. Hold up. All right, here we go. Much better.
I'm like, what language is he speaking?
Yo, I don't know what it was. Russell, if you're in the chat, man, definitely just explain that one, because you lost me there. Shout out to O-Dog. He says, hang up on this man. Don't he see ashes right there? We not doing that. I'm not sure who he was referring to there. I don't know. I didn't hear something get too contentious out there. Ty Clements says, all you KP calling out Tibbs. All right. Junior Chroma, $5 super chat, says, Burks Hive, we here. Deuce closing out that fourth was a beautiful thing to see. Y'all already know Deuce is my favorite rookie. Did Russell respond? Okay, Russell says it's a real Russian basketball team. Okay, that's what he was referring to. Russell was referring to Nizhny Novgorod.
So it's in Russian?
Yes.
Oh,
yes, it's a Russian basketball team. And he says for a dozen babushkas and a handle of Stoli. So he's trading Randall to the Russian team for some babushkas and a little liquor. I get it now. Okay. All right, I get it now. Appreciate the super chat, Russell. Appreciate that. Marcus Kelly, I think I got those. Caleb, $5 super chat, says, you want to talk about stats? Randall is the worst player in the entire NBA according to advanced statistics. Dubious handles is back. Kyle Turner says, said it before, we'll say it again. This is essentially the player he's been the whole career. He isn't the focal point of a team. He's back to what he's been, save for one season with no fans in stands. Okay, I think I got that one already. Shout out Kyle Turner, though. Shout out to D-Roy, my guy D-Roy. Big up D-Roy in H-Town. He says Randall gave up money so we could re-sign guys and bring in help. Where's the help? I think we blaming the wrong guy. 2 new starters was a very bad idea. I mean, look, I think, the team D-Roy's is just, they're not playing well for sure, but he's the guy. He's the guy. And it's one thing to not be shooting well, and it's another thing to not be, to not put up effort. What's so funny? What's going on?
Because the thing where you said trade them for like a dozen babushkas.
Yeah.
Is that what you said?
Yeah.
Babushkas are grandmas.
That's what I thought. That's what I thought when you said that.
Okay. We're learning something new every day, man.
I thought so, but no one's saying anything.
I only
Maybe
know that
not.
because I know that one, the chat saying it, but two, because A$AP Rocky has a song. It's called Babushka something, Babushka Boys, or something like that. It's grandma, so trading him for a dozen grandmas.
Okay. So it gets even better, man. Shout out to Russell, man. Great super chat. I wish I would have gotten it all off the first rip, man. But I appreciate everybody for the insight. This is a learning show. The more you know. I like that.
Right.
I like that.
Right.
Somebody in the chat called me CP Urkel. Yes, sir. Yes, I do wear glasses at times to read. I'm trying to read these super chats because a lot came in. I appreciate everybody for donating, so I want to make sure I get it right. Shout out to Colombians. He says the Ash Sims got quiet during that segment. Russell Reed, $5 super chat, said Tibbs and Randall have one thing in common. When facing adversity, they are too rigid to make adjustments. They are one and the same. Winners adjust. Okay. I got 5 minutes. I got to make sure the replay gang gets it in. All right. Frankie Aquilino says, I don't want RJ not to start, but RJ has to run with the second unit to get activated. He's a freight train in transition along with Obi and quick pushing. Definitely. Paul Robinson says, Ash, you are right, but we can't fix his mentality for him. He has to do it himself. He's not made for New York. He's played like trash literally since full capacity arenas. He cannot adjust. He can't hit open shots. Trade him now. Bomani UFG. Yeah. Bomani UFG says Julius has been trashed for 2 out of 3 seasons. Last season looking like a glitch in the Matrix. I got to go watch that new Matrix. I'm going to watch that tomorrow, man. See what
You're
it's
not
talking
missing much.
I heard. I didn't expect much, but I got to watch it just for nostalgia purposes, you know. I did watch Spider-Man. Spider-Man was hard. Spider-Man was definitely cracked.
Still haven't gotten to see it yet, man.
Spider-Man was hard. I've been at home. I'm catching up on all my stuff, man. I missed out on TV for like the last 2 years. I peeped WandaVision. I'm about to get to Captain to Winter Soldier and Falcon next. I'm catching up.
Damn, you behind.
Bro, I'm way behind,
right,
bro. I haven't watched any of that. I'm way behind, bro. Way behind, bro. I'm catching up this week, though.
All right.
Shout out Blue Hefton says anybody can flip a switch when you're trying to get paid. The NBA was LA Fitness last year. Rodolfo $5 super chat says, yo, Ash, did Kendra Randall invite you to the inner circle or something? Randall's playing like trash. Colombian says Randall trash player. The ball don't lie.
I'm not going to dignify that with an answer.
Yeah. Joe Piasso says enough bail for Randall. That man has been broken since ATL series. No way the top player should have these bad nights this often. Aaron Devon says, is she friends with Randall? Okay.
I'm not going to dignify that with an answer either.
Dirk Joseph says potential that goes unused expire. Ash, huh? Potential that goes unused expires. Randall can be trash. You are what you are at the time. He is trash right now. Poppa Left, having a lack of effort is trash. D-Roy says, I can't help but notice, Ashley, that Julius Randall. Said, I don't know, man. Kevin Joseph says, Julius must have walked in on Tibbs with a lady friend on the night. You guys are crazy. Julius must have walked in on Tibbs with a lady friend of the night of his office or something, because Tibbs saying he's nicked up like we haven't watched him jog on defense all season is crazy. Sam Khan says, bless Big Mike's little heart because he's definitely getting straight C's in school and being up after every game. John Farley says, take out emotions, Randall or Fournier for KP. Who says no? Marcus Kelly, $50 super chat. I think I got that one already. Thank you, Marcus Kelly. Frankie Aquilino, appreciate it. Let me make sure I get all of that. I got Ron Hansley, appreciate it. God Candelario, appreciate it. J Cal, appreciate it. Kayla, appreciate it. I think I got everything. 66 Kimball says in the postgame with Breen, Burke says he missed D-Rose leader on the bench. Very revealing. Thanks for saving our skin, Alex. Ricky Lorenz says we've seen every starting lineup imaginable once without RJ, Kemba, Evan, and Mitch. I think it's clear who the true issue is. Hashtag trade Julius. Chi B87 says Quincy Acey's Knicks would have blown out this Pistons squad. Worst Nick W of all time. Kenny Gales, did Tibbs get the plus minus during the game or not? No way you watch a starter score only 4 points with 3 minutes left in the third, but put the bench in. Deuce had 0 points and has a plus 40. Free the kids. Milad Kayami says, regardless of the bad play from Julius, the thing that really concerns me is lack of leadership. This guy can't be our go-to guy. Ryan Manuel Chuck D says, next man up is the new NBA. Sorry, folks. There are 7 superstars and everyone is interchangeable. Add COVID and this became the new NFL. Tibbs gotta know. Willie Cruz is Tibbs in love with Randall. He gotta have a Randall tramp stamp or something. Shout out Henry Roman. Appreciate the super chat. Black Ranger. Huss Zoo. He says, Alec Jordan, Alec Curry, Alec James. What can our franchise player do? Do we have a trash can for thank God for Walt Perrin and AB the GOAT. Chuck D, another $10 super chat. He says, CP the Burks prophet, as mentioned a couple nights ago. 10 is not a rotation under the NBA and Tibbs. 44, 46 wins only going to come with all 15 and rotations of 12 because some will have it, some will not. All right, appreciate Kevin Joseph. I miss Uncle Charles, appreciate it. Paul Robinson, appreciate it. BKNY, Taj Gibson, National Treasure. Berkside, stand up. Trade Kemban Fournier, play the kids. Ladies and gentlemen, this show is also available in audio podcast format. Make sure you guys check it out in audio podcast format. If you missed it,